Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Hi, welcome to my podcast, guys. This is your girl, MamiSoTrue. You're listening to Surviving the Narcissist. Thank you for joining this episode today. I want to take a moment to invite you to follow from wherever platform you're listening to. You're encouraged to share this content. You're encouraged to find me on other platforms. And if you need to discuss things with me, if you're seeking life coaching support as someone who has not just survived, but is now thriving post-narcissistic abuse, reach out to me. Don't hesitate. I'm a certified life coach, and I'd love to work with you. If you're interested, look below for all details and information that may be helpful for you. Welcome back to all of my friends out there, sisters, brothers, my kings and queens, soul sisters and brothers, honestly, because I promise you guys, we are all like so similar. It's amazing. In this episode today, I want to talk to you guys about the fact that we're not just survivors anymore. A lot of us are now thriving, and a lot of times when I say that, people assume it's material things. People assume you're talking about money. No, because a lot of us, we ain't even got it like that. It might look good. We're people of light, so we could be broke as a joke and still be, well put together and neat, and still be finding ways to be positive, and people just will never think that, you going through it. So it's not about material things at all. As a thriver, it's deeper than that. Yes, we've survived this thing. At least, many of us have. A lot of you are in survival mode still. And when I say in survivor mode, you're still probably with these people or in these situations in some kind of way. You're probably just learning about this, and you're trying to figure it all out and gain clarity, because your life has always been so weird, and you're finally realizing that it's weird because of the weird people around you. And they've made you a little weird. And I say that to say, after you survive narcissistic abuse, even when you escape the matrix, you may even go no contact. There's still things that need to happen in order for this cycle to actually break, in order for you to actually really be free. You have to go through some processes. You have to go through some deprogramming, some reconditioning. You have to unlearn and relearn. And there's a lot for the person who went through it. You have to learn how to connect with yourself. You have to learn yourself. And when you're with narcissists, you don't really get a full chance to be yourself and know yourself. And when I talk about thriving, that's where I really come from, is when you're no longer bound to the ways of the narcissistic toxicity that you were used to or around. When you're not around the people that convinced you to think a certain way about yourself or even about life, you move different. You make different choices. You analyze yourself different. And this, to me, is part of the hardest parts of this. Because what I'm talking about is reflecting, being able to look within yourself, address yourself, become fully aware of yourself, know yourself, and be willing to hold yourself accountable. Because you don't just survive this, you have to survive life after this. There's so much that's going to come with how your brain has just become. There's going to be so much in life that's going to feel triggering, alarming. You may find yourself more sensitive than you need to be after dealing with a narcissistic relationship or being raised by narcissistic parents or guardians. You pick up a lot of things, and one of the biggest is beating yourself up all the time, criticizing yourself harshly, not giving yourself grace. And the more you go through these cycles over time, you don't just not give yourself grace. Now you don't give people grace. You don't give people grace. You learn to become very hypervigilant is the right word, because hypervigilance is when you're just on high alert now. After going through this abuse, it's like you're looking for the red flags. And this can be dangerous, good but dangerous, because narcissistic abuse, guys, it designs us to look at everyone as suspects. And although this may be a good thing, because we do want to protect ourselves, especially after we've gone through this before, we also want to be careful. We also want to be careful because I think that narcissistic abuse, it blinds people to the point where they don't trust and they get stuck like that. They stop believing that people are people. And that means that we are all flawed. And if you don't get your head out of looking at everyone as a narcissist, you could miss things in life. You can miss opportunities. This programs us to get to a point where a lot of us are saying things like, oh, I'd rather be single. I'd rather be alone. And it's okay if, that's truly your heart's desire. But for so many of us, it's not. And this trauma will force you to accept things in your life that you don't want to accept. Which I don't know if that would ever help us truly heal. A lot of us, because of the pain of this trauma, we've closed ourselves up. And over time, I feel like what that does is it creates bitterness about people, about life, about relationships. You start to see everyone the same. You forget that because you dealt with such inhuman people, you haven't really gotten a chance to get to know real people or good people. So now everyone's canceled. Everyone gets canceled. Narcissistic abuse raises our opinions. We become super opinionated, super sensitive to opinions. And although I don't think this is necessarily bad, because you want to be a boundaried person, a highly boundaried person. But with narcissistic abuse, boundaries need to be internal more so than external if you're dealing with narcissists themselves, because they don't care about your boundaries. And you setting boundaries is you giving them game. You're putting them on game on how they should treat you. Everything you're telling them you don't like is exactly what they're going to do, just to put you in your feelings. So it's internal boundaries, and I'll show you better than I can tell you. That's where that's coming from. You have to show them boundaries. You have to show them boundaries. And you have to also show yourself boundaries. You have to also teach yourself how to discern and detect and understand that you'll run into people with these similar traits. You'll run into people with flaws. You'll run into people with issues. But everyone is not after you. Everyone does not have your worst interest at heart. This thing puts us into some type of a fear mode a lot of times. And I'm really speaking for myself. This is coming from my heart because this is truly just transparency. I am really on a journey, and I am learning so much more about myself. More and more. Every situation, every relationship, I'm just learning more. But now that I've learned so much about narcissists themselves and how they pop up in different situations and relationships, I'm now focusing on learning about me, how I react, why I react a certain way. What does it take for you to get me to say certain things? Why do I say them? Why is it so hard to say no? Why is it so hard to be a high boundary person about certain things? Why not speak up instead of allowing things to pile up? Why not allow people to express their feelings without taking offense to how they feel? This teaches you to always feel like a problem. So someone's constructive criticism may offend you. Why? Someone's way of communicating may offend you. Why? Someone's lack of knowledge and choice to handle their life and their problems will irritate you. Why? These are just hypothetical questions, just random questions that I ask myself when I feel certain feelings. When I find myself beating myself up because I let something slide, or I let too much slide. And then it got to a point where I had to overexhaust myself to now set and reinforce boundaries. I've had to see the anger that this had created within me over time. The frustration and how easily I become frustrated if I felt mistreated. And self-reflection became so much of a big deal in this journey at some point. I'm like, okay. Here's where I'm the problem. Here's where I've made myself a problem. Here's where I've created problems for my own self, perhaps. What can I do about that? How can I change that? How do I reverse that? Because ultimately, we've been around narcissistic people, and we've been conditioned in a very sick way to think like them, maneuver like them, or look at life from their lens. And that requires a major detox. they've put us in a place of fear, afraid to live, afraid to do things, afraid to try things. And if you're not careful, that fear will reflect in your life in ways that you're not even seeing it. You may not realize that it's because of fear that you're still spending every holiday alone. You may not realize that it's because of fear that you're not all the way happy like you should be, because you've gaslit yourself to believe that you need to be alone. You can't trust anyone. Everyone's narcissistic. And the reality is, everyone truly is narcissistic. In my opinion, everyone has some level of it. It doesn't mean that's a bad thing all the time, though. I believe that everyone has every right to do what's necessary to better themselves. And we got to let people prove to us if they can be trusted. That's where I believe that discernment comes in, that we have to let people prove to us if they belong in our life. And always just focus on us, focus on growing, focus on evolving, focus on connecting, and allow things to reveal itself. The more you grow spiritually, do you think God is going to let you, not see if somebody is not for your life? He will continue to remove everyone. Every narcissist mask will continue to fall and slip right before your eyes. God will also continue to allow us to learn lessons in life. And you're going to learn lessons in every relationship. Every relationship, someone is going to do something that's going to make you have to self-reflect. It's going to make you have to go sit in a corner somewhere and maybe pray. Your emotions are going to be affected by something. What's going to matter is how this person handles you, how they console you, how they apologize to you, how sincere and genuine they are with you, how authentic they are with you, how honest and transparent they are with you. How safe are your feelings and emotions truly with them? As a narcissistic abuse survivor, one of the things that I realized a lot of us deal with is challenging relationships. We have challenges with relationships. We butt heads with people. We may start off great, but then eventually feelings start to erupt like volcanoes because of boundaries that haven't been set, character that's been misconstrued. They think you're so kind that you're weak, or at least you start to feel like that. You start to feel like you're being taken advantage of. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it is. Part of working on ourselves is to be able to get to the place where we can discern the difference, and then we're not misjudging everything and everyone. My spirit just doesn't want you guys to end up alone and end up feeling like you won't be with anyone, you can't be with anyone, you won't have a family, you won't have this, you won't have that, you can't have this, you can't have that. You're all messed up. You can't be loved. You can't love. You can't trust. These are all lies that are fed to us by narcissistic abuse, and the biggest part of the healing for me is shedding these lies by self-reflecting, embracing what it's done to you and erasing it. Being real about it, because none of us are perfect. We're all flawed. Narcissists hide behind flaws, and they convince us to think their flaws are so normal. And they're not. The flaws of a narcissist is not even a flaw. It's now like some form of wicked behavior, because their flaws now, they push it on you by instilling anger in you with all the wicked things they do, all the secrets, all the deceit, the lying, all the conniving behaviors, all the meanness, just so mean. And they teach us to now see that everyone truly isn't like us. But at the same time, we should not throw our empathy away, because it's a gift, and love is a beautiful thing. We just need to learn how to manage our empathy and not waste it. Not allow people to abuse it when we know it's abuse. Because people will do things, but it's the sorry and the changed behaviors that matter, and you won't get that from narcissists. Not genuinely changed behavior. The purpose of this healing journey is to set our souls and our hearts and our minds free from the bondage of ourselves, not just from the narcissist. Because there's aftermath. There's dealing with this on the other end. Some of us, we've suffered so much trauma that we don't process our emotions properly. We need someone who can love us with tender and care, but we have to allow these people in. And because of the trauma, we can't do that. A lot of us were not able to do that. And I'm not saying you need to be with someone. No. But I don't think that many of you listening to this at your age and with all the things that you've imagined for your future, I don't think that you should allow yourself to settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. And narcissistic abuse can make us think that there's something perfect for us. I think that's an illusion, because that's how narcissists look at life. We just need to trust the process of life. Just live it. Embrace what we know is right for us. Keep praying for discernment. God won't steer you in the wrong direction. You just got to be willing to keep listening to his guidance. We always choose not to listen to his guidance, and we step into narcissistic mud. We step into narcissistic quicksand. I don't want anyone out there to miss out on their blessings, to miss out on good people, to miss out on good, authentic relationships. We want to be fighters. We want to be warriors. We want to be alert. We want to be aware. But we don't want to be poisoned. We don't want to be bitter. We don't want to be full of resentment and anger. This is the year where I personally want to be intentional about truly shedding any emotions that are connected to any of those words that I just mentioned, because that's not what I want to attract in my life. I want a pure heart, like the heart that I've always had, the heart that the narcissist had tried to snatch. That's the heart I'm fighting for. Ready to live in my soft times now. I've been fighting and been tough for so long. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to get all soft and nice and easy for narcissists to keep targeting. No, but now I know that once a target, always a target, because my light won't stop. Your light doesn't stop. They're always going to target you. It shouldn't stop your life. It should just make you completely aware of yourself and completely empowered and educated about them. But it shouldn't stop your life. It shouldn't stop your happiness. It shouldn't stop your goals. It shouldn't stop your future. It shouldn't stop your smile. Inside, the smile within your heart. You deserve to be loved properly. Loneliness It's painful. And this journey is already a lonely journey full of isolation. But it gets to a point where you've got to be realistic with yourself and think about the things that will truly make you happy and allow yourself to grow into manifesting those things, bringing those things alive. A lot of you out there, you're amazing men and women. You will be amazing with your own children, your own partner. Free yourself from the bondage of limited beliefs and believing that you can't trust anyone, or you can't love again, or you rather be by yourself, or you rather be alone, or it's too late. And some of you, I understand, because of age, I understand your choices. I get it. And this is not just about you being in a relationship. It's about you doing what makes you happy. Some of us need to figure that out. This is the year of happiness. Let's tap into happiness. What makes us happy? What makes us happy? What triggers us now that we're healing? What irritates us about people? Why does it irritate us? Why does it annoy us? What is it about us? This game comes to an end when we remove them and put us in you. It's now about you, not them. Because you're the one capable of true change. You're the one capable of really changing your life around and becoming an amazing person. You're already gifted. You already are an amazing being. You are the one called. So if you use this time to shift yourself, heal yourself, address your flaws, embrace your flaws, and learn to truly love people, because love is a gift and you should be able to love them. You just got deceived by a narcissist. Now you should be able to see them. You know what this is. Trust yourself now when you meet people, but understand that you should not allow the trauma to make you mistrust either. There has to be a balance, because they've deceived us and they want us to believe that we don't get everything that we desire, that we want, and that's a lie. Healing is about shedding these lies, shaming the devil. Continue to grow and focus on your life and heal yourself and work on your internal self and love yourself. Embrace yourself. And pay attention to the world around you, the people around you. Continue to pray for removal of those who don't serve you or don't have your best interests at heart, and keep those who do. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to reach out to me, look in the description box or send an email. MamiSoTrue@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your time. Until next time, beautiful people, take care, stay blessed, stay true. Bye.